Hello everyone and welcome to the brand new tutorials for Python beginners. So in our previous video we are installed Python in our system. So now in this tutorial we are trying to discuss about variable and data type. So let's talk about what is actually variable. So variable is like a container and you have to store data inside this variable. So let's open our Jupyter notebook. Okay, I already opened it here. Okay, in my localhost. Okay, so now we are trying to discuss about variable. So let's assume that a is a variable and its put some value, let's say 10. So a is contain a value of variable. Okay, so a is a variable and 10 is the value of a. So if we trying to print a, so it will return me only 10, not a actually, because a is a variable, is a container. Okay, so if I go to the next cell and type here, oh, some problem I think. So we're trying to print here a, okay, so it's return me only 10. So if I trying to see its data type, okay, so let's talk about what is the data type. Actually Python has some data type. It should be integer, it should be float and string, list, tuple, dictionary also. Okay, so if the text type, if this one is text type, so it should be integer. If this is a numerical type, so it should be integer, float. Okay, and it should be complex number also. If the sequence type, if there is any sequence, so it should be list and tuple or arrays. Okay, if there have some mapping, so it should be dictionary. And if there have some sequence of set, I mean 1 2 3 4 5, so it should be set and also the frozen set. And if they are a boolean type, I mean only true or false, because in boolean has only two values, one is zero, so one represent for true and zero represent for false. Okay, and also sometimes for binary types like say bytes by bytes. Okay, so now we are trying to print this type. So let's say print, and you have to create type a method. It's called type. Okay, so type is a method, so it check is it the integer or the float or a string, whatever. Okay, so you have to pass the variable over here. Okay, so simply shift enter. So you can see class int, because so why this execute when this execute is represented here class. So what actually class? Because Python is a object oriented programming language, I mean class based programming language, so it's called here class int. Okay, so if we're trying to let's take another video, so 10.9. so if we execute this and print oh, some problem I think. So if we're trying to print a b, so it will execute a 10.9. so if we another try to print this type, so let's say b here, and you can see class float, because here's a floating point number. Okay, so now let's say another variable, let's say name. So let's put my name here. Okay, so string should be in double quotation or a single quotation. Okay, so let's say my name here and let's execute it. Okay, so now we are trying to print it here, so let's say name. Okay, so here you can see my name. Okay, so if I trying to print this type, okay, so what will be executed, I mean what will be output will be, so it should be string. So you can see class is string. Okay, so this is a string. Okay, if we're trying to concatenate a one string to two string, you should use some method, but in case because it's a beginner level, so we're trying to use plus because it is string. Okay, so let's say a so let's name 2 here. So name 2, let's say my brother named Jamie. So let's execute it. Okay, so we are trying to concatenate these two strings here. Okay, so let's say another variable, let's say name or result here. So let's say result. Okay, so name 1, I mean not name 1 actually, I think name, only name. Okay, so name plus and name 2. Okay, so if I execute this, it will be executed. So now I am trying to print our result. Okay, so let's say result, so it will be concatenated. So if it's Mishu Chandu, and here I think here we should put some spaces, not sure. So it should be concatenate two strings. So here you can see it's my name and it's my brother name, so it should be concatenated. So it's the data type. Okay, and what is the variable? Actually, the variable is the result. Okay, because this result containing my names and my brother names, and both are concatenated using plus or brother. But when we're trying to concatenate string and integer, this it will throw you some error because it doesn't concatenate only string and integer. Okay, it's only concatenate string integer and integer. Okay, so let's try again. Okay, so let's say result equal let's say name one plus a. Okay, so if I execute this, so it through an error because name one is different here. Okay, so not the name one, so let's put a name. Okay, so it's through an error can only concatenate string, not integer. Okay, let's see here, not integer. So we are trying to only concatenate string and string, not string and integer. Okay, so it's some rules. Okay, but if we are trying to concatenate 1 plus a plus b here, so let's see here if a is the value of 10 and here you can see b is the 10.9. Okay, so if we're trying to uh so let's say result let's say result 1 2. Okay, no problem. So if we're trying to execute this will be executed because integer and float is a numerical type, so this should be concatenated. Okay, or sum. So simply you have to print here result. So let's say result and 2. So if I execute this name result is different. Okay, no problem. The 1 2. Okay, so I think there's a mistake. So you can see 20.9 because integer and the float are in the same category, I mean same data type. Okay, so here's the tutorial. I think you will enjoy this video and make sure to subscribe my channel, guys. And for upcoming video we're trying to make something different and try to make some different projects using Python also. Okay, and some have exercise also there. That's why you will be exercise using Python also. So thank you.